All right, welcome back to Spence's Mass Effect Quick Tips. Today we are going to be going through your talents. So strap in, folks. It is going to be a long one. Your talents are a major part of gameplay because there are so many of them between the classes. It can be hard to keep track of which abilities do what and when and how to use them in combat. So let me do this a little bit backwards. To access your talents in combat, you're going to pull up your ability wheel. For PC users, it's going to be your spacebar as the default. But for the for the consoles, it's going to be your right trigger. This will pause combat so that you can strategically tell your party what to do. Just make sure that your enemy is targeted. You will notice that when you pull it up, oops, I said that incorrectly. It is not the right trigger, it is the right button. So when you are targeting, you want to make sure you have somebody targeted. If it is an enemy, a red triangle will appear around them. And then you can say what abilities you want to use on them. And you can assign your squad to all focus on one enemy or have them focus on different ones. So long as that enemy is highlighted when you assign the ability, they will attack the correct one. Just make sure that they are not out of line of sight of you or your squad member. Okay, so to assign squad talents, you're going to go to your main menu and you're going to go to squad. You'll notice that it will be highlighted in white, kind of like Journal is right now. So you will go to squad. There are 3 different types of abilities. There are combat abilities, tech abilities, and scratch that. There are 4 different types of abilities: combat, tech, biotic, and utility. So we are going to break down all of the different abilities. So, assault training. I don't have assault training. Yes, I do. There's assault training. Assault training is available to soldiers, Vanguard, and Garrus. It is a passive ability that increases your melee and weapon damage. It unlocks the ability of Adrenaline Burst at rank 3 and Tactical Armor or Fitness at rank 5. So when you look at your menu, wherever there is an arrow pointing up, that is when an ability unlocks. Whenever there is a plus, that's going to unlock a new talent tree. Okay. The next is Adrenaline Burst. So what does Adrenaline Burst actually do? It's available for soldiers and vanguards, and this ability resets your cooldown timers on all recharging talents. So when you've used all of your talents, for you and your squad, Adrenaline Burst can reset them, which is really helpful when you're fighting a heavy-duty target, but you're all out of abilities. Now, Fitness is one that we're not going to be able to see here because I don't have a soldier or infiltrator in my party, but it's available for soldiers, infiltrators, and Rex. It is a passive ability that increases your health. At rank 4, it unlocks immunity. What is immunity? Well, it's available to soldiers and infiltrators. It reduces most damage done to your health, but not to your shields. If your meat shield is getting hit a lot, use immunity to reduce the damage that is done temporarily. Assault rifles. I do not have assault rifles, but that's okay, because soldiers, Rex, and Garrus do. Now, this is a passive ability that increases the damage and accuracy of the assault rifle. It unlocks the ability of overkill. You need to have an assault rifle equipped in order to use the ability overkill. Now, overkill, what does that mean? It must be used with an assault weapon active. It generates less heat on the weapon, greater damage at the cost of accuracy. So, if you're spraying bullets, this will help keep your weapon from overheating. Great if you are trying to draw aggro. Pistols, available for all classes. So, the passive ability will increase your... Oh my goodness! Hello, hello person. Thank you very much for the follow. I do appreciate the compliment, but I'm in the middle of doing a tutorial, so bear with me. So this is a passive ability for your pistols, which will increase your pistols' damage and accuracy. It unlocks the ability of Marksman at rank 3. What does Marksman do? Marksman increases your pistol's accuracy and headshot damage when you have the pistol equipped. It's especially helpful for non-combat classes to get some effective shots in with their pistol. Shotguns, available for soldiers, Vanguards, Rex, and Tally. This passive ability will increase damage and accuracy and unlock Carnage at rank 4. So once again, Carnage must be used when you have a shotgun equipped. If you do not have it equipped on, let's say, Rex or Tally, you will have to allow them time to switch out their weapons in order to use it. It increases it fires a blast of particles that does additional AoE damage. So if you've got a swarm of people coming at you, Carnage is going to help at least weaken them, if not take them out outright. Sniper rifles are available for soldiers, infiltrators, and Garrus. Your next, it increases the ability, it increases damage and accuracy, and unlocks Assassination at level 3. Assassination will inflict 200% more damage on your next shot with a sniper rifle. A clear shot taken within 6 seconds of activating Assassination will be extremely effective. Alright. Basic armor. Adepts and Tally are able to use this passive ability that increases damage and hardening. At rank 3, it unlocks Shield Boost. It unlocks pistols at rank 5 for Adepts, and First Aid for Tally at rank 5 as well. Combat armor is available to soldiers and Rex. Again, it's a passive ability that increases damage and hardening, and at rank 3, it unlocks Shield Boost. It unlocks Fitness for Rex at rank 4, and First Aid for soldiers at rank 6. Tactical armor, which is what I have. Again, passive ability for infiltrators and Garrus. That increases damage and hardening, and unlocks Shield Boost at rank 3. Assault rifles training for Garrus at rank 5. Fitness for infiltrators at rank 6, and medium armor at rank 7. Alright, so now we're going to get into the tech abilities. So I'm not going to have any of these abilities, so just bear with me. Decryption is for engineers, infiltrators, sentinels, Garrus, and Tally. It's a passive ability you unlock that allows you to unlock sealed doors and containers and increases your tech explosions. This is so helpful when you are planet side and you're trying to unlock or decrypt something. So you want to make sure you have somebody with a high decryption in your team. It unlocks the ability Sabotage at rank 1, Electronics for Sentinels at rank 4. Oh, I do have decryption. There it is. Dampening for Garrus at rank 4, First Aid for Infiltrators at rank 7, and Hacking for Engineers and Tally at rank 7. So the reason that I have decryption, even though it's not something that I can have for my class, is because this is the Legendary Edition. Sabotage is this lovely ability. Oh, thank you for the raid. I'm in the middle of a tutorial, but thank you, Other Doc, for the raid and raiders. If you are interested in Mass Effect, this is going to be the tutorial for you. We are talking about your talents and abilities. So, let's see here. So Sabotage, what this is an AoE, area of effect ability that overheats weapons and does damage per second damage. It's great for bigger enemies with shields or enemies that are next to explosive containers. Some targets have those containers on their backs. Alright, next we have Electronics, which is for engineers, infiltrators, sentinels, Garrus, Liara, and Tally. Passive ability to repair or bypass objects. Important for when you want to uncover artifacts and get items from debris. It increases your shields and helps with repairing your Mako. That is the all-terrain vehicle that I mentioned previously, and we'll get to see it in later episodes. It unlocks the ability of Overload at rank 1 and unlocks Damping at rank 4 for Infiltrators, Tally, and Engineers. Overload is a great ability. It's for Engineers, Infiltrators, Sentinels, Garrus, Liara, and Tally. It does area of effect damage, and it does extra damage to shields. So once again, if you've got a big enemy with shields, hit them with Overload first and watch the shields go down. Sometimes Overload will take down the enemy too. So let's see here. Now we're going to go into Hacking, which is for Engineers and Tally. This is the reason that we love Tally. It's a passive ability that lowers the recharge times of all tech talents, which are Sabotage, Overload, and Damping. It unlocks AI Hacking at rank 1. And AI Hacking, as you can imagine, allows you to change non-organic targets to friendly if other enemies are nearby. So if you have a group of this creature called the Geth in front of you, you can hack the heaviest one you can and watch the chaos unfold. Just don't do it when it's a solo enemy, as they will only see you and still attack you. Now, there are two versions of Damping. There is the passive ability and the active ability. So Damping, the passive ability, increases the radius of Sabotage, Overload, and the active Damping ability. And it unlocks the active Damping ability at rank 1. What does that do? It's an area of effect ability that damages and stuns enemies. It adds a cooldown time to your enemy's tech and biotic abilities. So if you are getting swarmed by enemies, especially biotics, if you hit them with Damping, it gives you a moment to take them down without getting stunned by their biotic abilities. Speaking of biotic abilities, we're going to go ahead and start talking about those biotic abilities because, well, as a Vanguard, I get some of them. So there is Barrier, which Adepts, Sentinels, Liara, and Rex get. This creates a biotic barrier over your shields to absorb damage. So if your shields go down and you're getting hit a lot, pop that barrier, and it's going to help protect your life. Stasis is available for Adepts, Liara, and Rex, and it causes enemies to be locked up in a Mass Effect field for a short period of time. So if you got a big bad who is making things difficult for you to take out all of the ads or little baddies, you can put them in stasis and let them cool off for a minute while you take care of their little friends. Lyft is available for Adepts, Sentinels, Vanguards, and Liara. It causes enemies to float helplessly in the air and make them vulnerable. So if you have a target that is ducking behind a crate, you can hit them with Lyft and then have your sniper take them out with some highly accurate shots. Throw. Just what it sounds like. It's available for Adepts, Vanguard, Sentinels, Liara, and Rex. And it throws an enemy with a huge force. So if you are, if somebody is charging at you, you can hit them with throw and push them back. You can try using this in conjunction with Lyft, and, or you can yeet the target off a precipice. It's pretty fun. Lyft is unlocked at rank 7 for Vanguards and Sentinels. Warp, this one right here, available to Adepts, Vanguards, Rex, and Liara. It lowers your enemy's armor and increases their damage, increases the damage to them. It also has a damage over time effect. So there are some enemies called Geth Armatures or Colossus. So if you hit them with Warp, it's going to weaken them, loosen the jar as it were, while your squad opens fire on them. It unlocks Barrier for Vanguards at rank 4, unlocks Singularity for Adepts and Liara at rank 7, and unlocks Throw for Rex at rank 7. And oh my god, I can't wait to talk about Singularity, which is for Adepts and Liara. It is the coolest biotic ability. It creates a gravity well that sucks up nearby enemies and other solid objects, leaving them floating and vulnerable. Best for the rank and file enemies that are in hiding. Throwing a Singularity near them will collect them all, and you get to watch them fly and then take them out. First Aid, a very important tactical ability available to Engineers, Sentinels, Garrus, Liara, Soldiers, Infiltrators, and Tally. So you consume Medigel packs. You can find them in many places, and you can refresh your gel packs in the med bay on the Normandy. It restores your health and an injured but not unconscious squad mate. It's pretty self-explanatory, and putting ranks into First Aid will increase the effectiveness of Medigel applications. It unlocks Electronics for Liara at rank 4 and for Garrus at rank 7. Medicine for Engineers and Sentinels at rank 5. Medicine is available for Engineers and Sentinels. It is a passive ability that reduces the cooldown time on your First Aid. It unlocks the ability Neural Shock at rank 1 for everybody except Tally. But she's awesome anyways, so we forgive the devs for this. Neural Shock, it paralyzes your target and does toxic damage. So unlike most biotic and tech abilities, this talent must be targeted as it does not have an AoE effect. But if something is charging at you and you smack them with Neural Shock and then throw them back, you'll be able to take a breath. Now the next few are going to be for Shepherd only. So there is Charm. Well, first of all, there is your class ability. This will change to Spectre after a time, but this will increase your biotic protection, increase your weapons damage, and increase your overall health. Let's see. It also reduces your regeneration time. It unlocks the ability of Unity at rank 4, and Unity is very important because it allows you to revive a fallen squad mate and give them some health and shields. I highly recommend maxing this out as soon as possible because you never know when your team will need it. As far as Charm, Charm is a passive talent where you will win more flies with honey. By putting points into Charm, you will decrease the cost of items in stores, and it will open up new dialogue options. Look for those options in blue. Intimidate. Sometimes a spike back will get the point across. Putting points into Intimidate will also increase the credits gained from selling items to a store and open up those red dialogue options. So I understand that's going to do it for all of the talents and abilities. And man, was that long. I understand that all of these abilities seem overwhelming, and if you decide to go the auto level route, I understand. My best practice is that anytime you go to a planet, or I go to a planet where I can land, I make sure to check my squad to see if there are any squad talent points to assign. I look at what abilities they are getting close to or upgrades they are getting close to and go for it. After getting a lot of those passive abilities out of the way. Speaking of passive abilities, I cannot stress enough how much you should make sure you're maxing out decryption and electronics with at least one of your characters. There is nothing more frustrating than trying to clear a planet and having a crate of loot or a down probe say that your skill is too low. And that is the very basic but encompassing quick tips on the talent tree. If you have questions regarding what I've covered in this video, please leave them in the comments below. And if you want to get notified when I post another quick tips video, hit the notification button. Thanks so much for sticking with me. And next time on Spence's Mass Effect Quick Tips, we are going to bring a lot of this knowledge together when we talk about the basics of gameplay. See you later.